Immigration to Spain increased significantly in the beginning of the 21st century. In 1998, immigrants accounted for 1.6% of the population, and by 2009, that number had jumped to above 12%, one of the highest in Europe at the time. Until 2014, the numbers were decreasing due to the economical crisis. But since then, immigration to Spain has increased again since 2015. As of 2020, there were 7,231,195 foreign-born people in Spain, making up to 15.23% of the Spanish population, including 5,015,263 born in a non-European country. Of these, 5,434,153 didn't have the Spanish citizenship. This makes Spain one of the world's preferred destinations to immigrate to, being the fourth country in Europe by immigration numbers. Spain attracts significant immigration from Latin America and Eastern Europe. The fastest-growing immigrant groups in 2017 were Venezuelans, Colombians, Italians, Ukrainians, and Argentinians. The population of Spain doubled during the 20th century due to the spectacular demographic boom in the 1960s and early 1970s. The birth rate then plunged by the 1980s, and Spain's population became stagnant, its demographics showing one of the lowest sub-replacement fertility rate in the world. During the early 21st century, the average year-on-year demographic growth set a new record with its 2003 peak variation of 2.1%, doubling the previous record reached back in the 1960s when a mean year-on-year growth of 1% was experienced. This trend is far from being reversed at the present moment, and in 2005 alone, the immigrant population of Spain increased by 700,000 people. According to the United Nations, there were 5,947,106 immigrants in Spain in early 2018, 12.8% of population of Spain. According to the Spanish government, there were 5.6 million foreign residents in Spain in 2010. Independent estimates put the figure 14% of total population, Italian and Argentine. In 2005, a regularization program increased the legal immigrant population by 700,000 people. Since 2000, Spain has experienced high population growth as a result of immigration flows, despite a birth rate that is only half of the replacement level. According to Eurostat, in 2010, there were 6.4 million foreign-born residents in Spain, corresponding to 14.0% of the total population. Of these, 4.1 million were born outside the EU and 2.3 million were born in another EU member state. As of 2005, Spain had the second highest immigration rates within the EU, just after Cyprus, and the second highest absolute net migration in the world. This can be explained by a number of reasons, including its strong economic growth at the time, the large size of its underground economy, and the strength of the agricultural and construction sectors, which demand more low-cost labor than can be offered by the national workforce, as well as business opportunities for immigrants coming from other developed countries. In fact, booming Spain was Europe's largest absorber of migrants from 2002 to 2007. With its immigrant population more than doubling as 2.5 million people arrived. Over 920,000 immigrants arrived in Spain during 2007. On top of the 802,971 new arrivals in 2006, 682,711 new arrivals in 2005, and 645,844 new arrivals in 2004. Although the number of immigrants in Spain, officially, is smaller than that of other countries in the EU, the following data should be taken into consideration. In the same way, the majority of children born in Spain between 2000 and 2010 are children of immigrants, despite not counting as such. Considering these data, there are sectors of Spanish society who oppose immigration that affirm the real number of immigrants in Spain is 10 to 11 million, or about 25% of the total population. As for nationalities outside of this category, in order to stay in Spain for more than 3 months, a residence card residence visa or work permit is required. In all, two distinct groups can be identified. Those immigrants originating from countries mostly located in Eastern Europe, South America or Africa, with lower GDP per capita than Spain, comprising most of the immigrating population, and those immigrants originating from Northern European or another Western countries with a higher GDP per capita than Spain. Immigrants from the Europe make up a growing proportion of immigrants in Spain. The main countries of origin are Romania, the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and Bulgaria. The British authorities estimate that the real population of British citizens living in Spain is much bigger than Spanish official figures suggest, establishing them at about 1 million, about 800,000 being permanent residents. Of these, according to the BBC and contrary to popular belief, only about 21.5% are over the age of 65. In fact, according to the Financial Times, Spain is the most favored destination for West Europeans considering to move from their own country and seek jobs elsewhere in the EU. Unlike other countries in the EU, Spain has not recorded any relevant anti-IAM